Hello, great people. The Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mojisola Meranda, has resigned after intense pressure from the presidency. On this episode, we'll be dissecting what is the politics that led to Obasa's reinstatement, what is in this for Miranda, and what is President Bola Tinubu trying to say? What message is he passing by the reinstatement of Mojisola Meranda? What are the behind the scene that led to the situation that emerged in Lagos? We'll be dissecting this and a whole lot more on this episode with Dr. Omoshola. First, let us remember that Mojisola Meranda became the speaker when Obasa was in the United States, and when Obasa returned, he declared himself as the authentic speaker that his removal was illegal. And we will recall that Obasa, expressed unusual confidence despite the fact that he was removed by over 90% of the Lagos state lawmakers. Over 90% of the Lagos lawmakers removed Mudashiru Obasa, but then their decision was overturned by one man. So you want to ask yourself that what kind of politics do we practice in Nigeria, and by extension Lagos state? What kind of politics is practiced in Lagos state whereby everything is centered around one man? Democracy should be the government of the people. It should be the people that should decide. And at the end of the day, it is the president that is now deciding, being the godfather of Lagos state. But then, if we are to break it down, the lawmakers that their wish were upturned, are they themselves a product of the popular wish of the people of Lagos state in the two sense of the democracy itself? Are they a product of internal democracy? Did they emerge through fair process, or they were imposed on others in their party? So if they were imposed on others in their party, of course they should be aware that one day they will also impose another person to replace them, or another wish will be imposed on them. And one of such is the speakership of Mudashiru Obasa. But then that leaves a lot to question about our democracy. Now, what could be the reason why President Bola Tinubu decided to reinstate Obasa? I've given you quite a number of reasons in my past analysis, and so do well to catch up with my past episodes. But one major reason that comes to mind again is that Tinubu has no reason to return Obasa other than ego. There's an ego part of it, in the sense that Tinubu is the president, is eyeing to return as president in 2027, and Tinubu is a power-oriented politician. He likes to be in charge. He likes to have power 101% if possible. So him allowing the legislature in Lagos state to have their way is a kind of like a trample on his ego. Tinubu cannot afford that, because in 2027, Tinubu, as he had a major stake in 2023, we want to decide who will be the speaker of the House of Representatives at the federal level, who will be the Senate president. So if he allows the people of Lagos state, as in the legislators, to have their way, that will be setting bad precedents to others, because they too will believe that they can do it, since the Lagos legislators have done it. So Tinubu is coming from an ego perspective. He's trying to pass a message that whether anybody likes it or not, I am still in charge. I am still the man to beat. The buck still stop at my table. So if you carry out any impeachment and you decide not to carry me along, well, I will overturn that impeachment. And that is one major message that Bola Tinubu is trying to pass across. It's not just about Lagos state for Bola Tinubu. It's about Nigeria as a whole. It's about his presidency. It's about the 2027 election dynamics. And that's why Bola Tinubu is not letting go. But then let us look at something. When you have the support of your lawmakers, you have the support of your colleagues, and then somebody says you should step down, and you must step down, and you also decide to step down as decided by the presidency, what could prompt Mojisola Meranda to put forward a resignation? One of such is the need to show loyalty, because Bola Tinubu is the mighty tree. They are just the branches and the leaves, depending on how close or how strong you are to Bola Tinubu. So these people need to show loyalty to the president, and that is why if Mojisola Meranda decide not to resign, it will come with serious consequences for her, because she can even be recalled. I don't think any lawmaker has been successfully recalled in Nigeria since 1999. Mojisola Meranda may end up being the first lawmaker that will be recalled. Some of you don't know that you can even sack lawmaker. There's something called recall, in the sense that if you are not pleased with the lawmaker representing you, if all of you can come together and you decide that you want to recall that person will cease to be a lawmaker. So Miranda got the message of Ambode. Miranda got the Ambode message, knowing fully well that the former governor Akinwumi Ambode was removed, and she knows that if Bola Ahmed Tinubu could successfully remove Akinwumi Ambode, definitely that can also be allowed. But then again, I intentionally, keep this at the middle of this conversation. So if you have joined me to this stage, well, that means that you are a great politic. And if you are yet to subscribe, of course, do well to subscribe to this channel. You see, what they agreed on is not really the final reinstatement of Mudashiru Obasa, but I think they played a fast one on Miranda, because there are reports that what they agreed on is that Mojisola Meranda should resign, Obasa should be reinstated to save his political career, so that it will be on record that he was impeached, that if he was impeached, that would affect his political career as an impeached speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. So it was agreed that Mudashiru Obasa should be allowed to return as speaker, then he can now be removed. But then again, surprisingly, out of the blue, the sack of Miranda came in from the presidency. The order that Miranda should resign came in from the presidency, and Obasa was reinstalled as speaker. But then the resignation of Obasa didn't eventually happen. What happened is the swearing in of Miranda as deputy speaker. So Miranda is back in her position as deputy speaker. So you can see like the dynamic. And if you go to my video catalog and the last analysis I made on this particular topic, I said the Obasa boys and the Tinubu presidency, they want to play a fast one on the Miranda camp. Miranda has over 30 lawmakers out of 40. They may want to play a fast one on them. Okay, you guys don't like Obasa. Okay, Miranda resigned, but then you guys won't have Obasa as speaker. Let him just come in, so that at the end of the day, another person will come in when Obasa eventually resigns. But then that would eventually not be the case, and it came to pass that that didn't become the case. So for me, this is what you face when you are installed. When you are installed, you are just like a remote control in the hands of the person that installed you. So all these lawmakers in Lagos State, except the ones from Labour Party, they owe Bola Ahmed Tinubu a debt of gratitude. So their remote control is in the hands of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Their political future is in the hands of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Who gets what, when and how in the politics of Lagos State in 2027 will be determined by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So all of them want to form loyalty. But then again, I can tell you as a political scientist that Tinubu needs to be very careful. When you are lording over people, when you are imposing your wish on them, they won't say anything because they don't have a means to tackle your decision. But then again, if you fall from the ladder, if you by error of omission or by or you run out of luck and you lose the election in 2027, you see these people that you are lording yourself over, they will come for you. Some of them will be the first to throw mud at you. Some of them will be the first to spit at you. When you are no more, some of them will even write book about your excesses as a godfather in Lagos State. So that is why it is always good to swim with the tide. But then, in this case, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has turned his back against the wind, because the wind has blown towards the side of Miranda. But Bola Ahmed Tinubu have said no, that Obasa should be returned as speaker, despite the fact that people do not want him. You see, when you are a godfather, if you want to fail, if you want to fall, you begin to go against popular wish. You begin to swim against the tide. The only saving grace for Bola Ahmed Tinubu is because he's the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let us look at the effect of this on Babajide Sanwo-Olu, because Jide Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State, is one of the people that doesn't want Obasa to return as speaker, because they believe that Obasa has become a god unto himself, that he is lording over everybody in Lagos State and he wants to be lording over the governor. So the governor is part of the people that doesn't want Mudashiru Obasa, and that is why President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had to ensure Obasa is reinstated, because Obasa is, is big stick that he will wield against Sanwo-Olu in case he wants to misbehave. Now that Obasa is back, will Obasa have a good relationship, in the true sense of a good relationship, with Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Will Obasa be able to maintain a perfect relationship with his colleagues? Because now he knows that the over 30 lawmakers, they don't want him. He knows that they don't like him. And the Obasa that we all have seen on TV is an Obasa that appears to be arrogant. Is an Obasa that appears not to be a calm and gentle person. So if Obasa now wants to be playing God again, then the crisis that they are running for will eventually happen at the end of the day. The only thing that is saving Lagos from crisis is because Tinubu is the president. If Tinubu is not the president, some of them will dare the Daniel. Some of them will face him. Some of them will form a coalition against him and see what can happen as regards, Austin Tinubu as the godfather of Lagos politics. But then, because he's the president, nobody wants to offend him because the power of a president is like, is like a small god with a letter G. So Sanwo-Olu needs to be very careful, because if Obasa happens to be closer than the president than Sanwo-Olu, then Sanwo-Olu will have a tough time while completing his tenure, and Obasa will want to lord over him, especially if he continues to enjoy the backing of the president. Now, what I can say is that removal is not this restatement of Obasa seems not to be a good omen for Lagos democracy, in the sense that the lawmakers, have been ridiculed. The lawmakers have shown that they don't have a say. It would have been better if Bola Tinubu has installed another person as the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly other than Obasa. So Tinubu is not thinking about the psychology of these lawmakers, the effect of the restatement of these lawmakers, or what is apparently thinking about is his own ego. Is him passing a message that he is in charge, and at the end of the day, that doesn't speak well, because he should be somebody that should be the custodian of democracy in Nigeria as the president. And if things can happen like this in Lagos State, then what moral ground would the president have to caution somebody like Jason Wike in Rivers State? You know that Rivers State is currently hot at the moment, and I'll be giving you I'll be bringing you great analysis as regards the Rivers State crisis. So if you are yet to subscribe, do well to subscribe to this channel. As I used to say, may the best happen to Lagos State, may the best happen to Nigeria, and of course, may Lagos people begin to get the good dividend of democracy that they so desire. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode. Do well to subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past videos. I have great, interesting videos coming your way. Till I see you again, always remember that I love you all sincerely.